Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's another win. Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. Too close for comfort. My God. But, but, it's a results business. It's a results business, and at the end of the day, we've picked up 3 points at a tough away ground. At a tough away ground, especially for the bigger teams. And big ups to Carl Rossi early in the house. Make sure you are spamming them likes. Spamming likes like Hojland is spamming goals in consecutive games. Get them things up, people. Man, what a start to this game. I mean, from both teams, both greats and not so great. Literally just both extremities. Madness. Absolute mad stuff. Big ups to Drew Gunners as well. Big ups to you, buddy. Hope we're doing well. Big up Drew Gunners Gaming 100%. Big up Fuzzy. Big ups to DJ Crane. Hit the likes. It's fee. It's fee and easy, unlike United's 2 goals. It's fee and easy, unlike watching United for 90 minutes, because after 10 minutes was played, the other 80 were relatively forgettable. Okay, I think we can easily forget about the other 80 minutes in that game. But as I've said, it's 3 points. It's another 3 points. 4 wins on the bounce in the Prem. The most consistency that we have had all season. Crazy, crazy stuff. Big ups to DJ as well. Smash the likes, like Arsenal scoring goals for fun. They are. They are scoring goals for fun. And you know what? It's a kind of resurgence or a coming of form that Arsenal have experienced at a really crucial stage of the season. And whilst you see Man City faltering against Chelsea at home, which was really, really surprising result. And so I'm sure that later on tonight on the Sunday Takeaway show on Early Doors Football TV, which, by the way, I'm not hosting anymore, Tont is going to be leading the show. He's going to be there, so do be sure to tune in for that one later on. It's going to be a lot of fun discussing the takeaways for this weekend. And the best part about it is a nice little positive in a win, but then also the promise perhaps for a lot of interesting appointments to be made in the new week. Darren Fletcher supposedly on his way out, and I've already forgotten his name. The bloke currently at Southampton. Let me have a look and see if I can find the name. Got to remember the name here, especially for people that are going to end up. It's funny. I'm saying I've got to remember the name for somebody that's eventually going to work at Manchester United, or most likely is going to work at Man United. But 10, 20 years ago, nobody could actually give a damn of the names of anybody that worked for the club. All they cared about was players and manager. So yeah, it is what it is. But it's looking like an exciting week ahead for Manchester United, and to top it all off, another 3 points away to Luton. So we've done a league double over them. That's 6 points from Luton, which is, it's what you should expect. It's the least you should expect. But you can never take anything for granted, especially when you support Man United. Rossi Drew artist extraordinaire, 100%. 100%. A lot of the amazing logos that you see in chat, people, are made by the one and only Drew Gunners. So that's his channel there. Go and show him some love and support, because Guy is doing some God's work out here. So big ups to Drew Gunners there. And also to Mama Flossie. Good evening. Good evenings to you. A late rescued point for yourself, Mama Flossie, this weekend. A 2-2 result. Not one that I think a lot of people were perhaps expecting. But you know what? Bournemouth, they like a bit like Luton, Bournemouth are a little bit like Luton, I find. Not a shed load of quality in that team, but one or two informed players. having a good season, and on top of that, a work ethic that is just you're a very tough team to get rid of, to get off your back. So and today for Luton's case, it showed that unable to possess the quality to actually get that second goal, but in various instances also, you know, unlucky in their execution. I believe Ross Barkley at the very, very end of the game hit the crossbar. So imagine the scenes if that goal went in from Ross Barkley at the very end. It would be it would be disaster settings for the fuzzy, especially when it comes to later on tonight on the Sunday Takeaway show. But we shan't complain. We take the 3 points as 3-point collectors that we've got to be. So we will we'll enjoy the wins that we get. But it's Jaminho. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I'm sure you are after Arsenal yet again dismantling the opposition that they had. How many goals? Let's have a look. How many goals have Arsenal scored in the last few games? Let's have a look. So you scored 5. You've literally scored 11, 14 goals in the last 3 games, or 11 goals in the last 2. You played Burnley, West Ham. Well, 14 goals in the last 3. You've played against Liverpool, West Ham, and Burnley. So, yeah, it's been a solid couple of weeks for Arsenal. It has been a solid couple of weeks, and it's happening at a point of the season where just around the corner from now, this point last season, Arsenal fell off the face of the cliff. They fell off the face of the earth, but you're seemingly finding this air of form at quite a crucial stage of the season. Let's see how long you can keep it going for. Liverpool hitting an injury crisis. Man City are under delivering in games they should be winning. It might be your year. It might be your year. Big up to everybody in the chat. The realist of the real. Big up Jajaminho. The chat is full of true art. It's a bit of it's what was that? A bit of Yeti's art as well, with the cave dwellers in your profile picture, Mum. I've gone old school with my logo I'm using at the moment. It's one of the first ones I made. Sometimes the old school ones are the most significant. Didn't watch United, watched most of the Bayern game until all my Fire Stick stopped working. Bayern are awful. They finished 7th and 3rd premises. Bayern Munich. And you know what? Thomas Tuchel, I've got to be honest, I think has a big part to play in Bayern's woes this season. I think tactically they don't play that great for the quality that they've got in that team. Harry Kane, the amount of times I see whenever Bayern play, the amount of times he likes to become a midfielder for some reason. Like, brother, your team needs you to be a striker and score goals. Let that midfield do the job it needs to. Stop taking space. Literally, stop taking space. Go forwards. Do what Rasmus Hojland is doing, and actually playing up top, and not being a midfielder. It's all well and good. You having some of that ability to your game where you can link up play, you can be your target man, you can give and you can go. That's all well and good. But man, you've got to be delivering. You've got to be delivering. And it's kind of problematic as a striker if you're not delivering the importances for your team as a striker when you're playing practically where your box to box or attacking midfielder should be. They're all class, Drew. 100%. I believe Carl Rossi's one there is also made by Drew Gunners as well. Good stuff there. 11 and 2 sounds better. 100%. Gaming, it looks brilliant, just like all your other ones. Yeah, man. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. Every year is Liverpool's year according to them, but it can never be Arsenal's year. But it might be. It might be. And my logo was done by Drew as well. But there you go. There's another one. Just need to get Mother Flossie, DJ Crane a profile picture as well, and just have everybody rocking Drew Gunners in the chat. You know, that was a all-time score to me. I couldn't find a link. Well, the full-time score for the Bayern game, I'm pretty sure, if I can actually find it, they lost. Bayern lost to Bochum. Is it Bochum or Bochum? My God. It's Upper Meccano as well, getting second yellow card. Harry Kane got on the score sheet, but by that point the damage is done. Damage is done, and that's Bayern 8 points behind Bayer Leverkusen after 22 games. It ain't great out here. Hey, Granit Xhaka, for the second season running, has now got an 8-point gap to second place. Granit Xhaka's got second season running. Will he bottle it, though? I can't imagine they would. I can't imagine Leverkusen would bottle it. You know, I wouldn't say Leverkusen are blowing teams away, but they're getting the job done at the moment. There's 2 losses on the bounce for Bayern as well. So yeah, it's scary hours. Scary hours for a Bayern Munich. Neither Chelsea nor Tuchel benefited from that sacking. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyways, Manchester United. There's a lot of people who are not actually that happy. There's not a lot of people that are happy about this Luton result. Some people look at the game in terms of how we play football and think, yeah, I don't like how we play. You know, it'll be justified if we end up losing it. I want this manager sacked, so I hope we lose the game. And then there's other people as well that say that it's embarrassing when we hype up the stats in terms of possession, saying, "Oh, Man United only had like 42% possession against Luton Town. What's that about? Why are we getting 42% possession?" You're at Kenilworth Road against a Luton Town that actually their game plan does revolve around trying to keep possession. You know, they do try to work possession football. It's not like having 42% possession against a team that throws the ball to you and just opts to sit back, because that's not what Luton do. You see, Luton are a competitive Premier League team. Put some respect on their name. You see, and that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. We give Luton a lot of credit whenever United is not playing them. And then the United fans, when it comes to United playing Luton, are just like, well, you know, these bums from the Championship, they're still a Championship team. That, you know, like, why are we struggling against them? That's so embarrassing. Literally, I think, did City actually struggle against them? Was there like result? I can't remember if it was like a 3 or 4-1 result. Let me have a look. I want to see who it is that they've essentially played and caused all sorts of issues. So, I mean, they destroyed Brighton. They destroyed Brighton at that ground. They drew 4-4 away to Newcastle. They beat Everton in the FA Cup away. Chelsea scraped a win against them at Kenilworth Road. Luton beat Newcastle at Kenilworth Road. Man City won 2-1 at Kenilworth Road. That's treble winning Manchester City, by the way. Arsenal scraped a 4-3 win at Kenilworth Road. Luton Palace, Luton. Who else have Luton beaten there? Oh, Tottenham scraped by. Tottenham scraped by against Luton Town. That game ended 1-0. So the moral of the story here is that Luton Town are actually half decent. In terms of quality, they're nothing that special. But the way they go about doing their business on the pitch can't be disputed. So actually, I think whilst we can acknowledge that Man United did not play a great game, we didn't play a great game. Literally, it was 10 minutes of action, and then literally that was it. You might as well just shut up shop or switch the TV off, because that was pretty much the most of what we did. We had 2 one-on-ones with the goalkeeper. I think Bruno Fernandes, unfortunate that, the determination of the defender getting back to cancel out a third goal. Yeah, that's just unfortunate on his part. Garnacho, that wasn't a great game from him at all. Let's be real, it wasn't a great game. His scuffed shot brought about the second goal. He absolutely mishit that, and Hojland actually, fair play to him, that was a really decent goal. Literally just angled a scuffed shot with his chest control and sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. And he managed to get it into the far post. So, you know what? Fair plays. Fair plays. That first goal for Hojland, though, like, that pass, man. It's so typical that in those moments, defenders so typically, they can play passing so normally. Yeah, the contact, the timing, the execution, the weight of it can be so normal. The second that they need, like, just in that moment, just do normal pass, just normal, just side foot, no messing about, back to your goalkeeper, send it long. It absolutely scuffed it, completely and utterly, just completely he just ruined Luton's day with that pass. And it's a gift. It's a gift. Hojland's, credit where credit is due. Garnacho and Hojland alert to the danger at that point. Chasing it in. Hojland beating the goalkeeper. Fantastic. Then the second goal, of course. Very fortunate, but credit where credit is due. The execution, the impromptu improvised finishing from Hojland. Now, some people will say, he didn't mean that. Yeah, that's lucky, that is. It's interesting in the way that he's actually almost half shimmied his torso to accommodate the control for that ball. And if that was meant to be a first touch, that's probably the worst yet most rewarding first touch you've ever seen in your life. I wish I could win with my first touch. If it's like what you can actually say, instead of everything Hojland touch turns to gold, you can just say everything Hojland touch turns to goals. You just rephrase it, rebrand the phrase, and everything Hojland touches turns to goals. So we'll take a Hojland brace, and if I'm not mistaken as well, I believe that puts Hojland into being sat top goal scorer, joint top goal scorer, but has one more assist than Scott McTominay. So do you know what, Anthony Herbert? I can gladly say that we can now put this McTominay's by far your best goal scorer. We can finally tuck that into bed, read it a bedtime story, switch the lights off, and go to bed with that. You know, hell yes, we've got a striker that is actually joint top goal scorer. We don't have to keep sitting here and saying, yeah, our Scooby Doo, our Milky Bar kid is taking top spot for goals scored. So can't complain. You know, it's good stuff. It's fantastic stuff that Rasmus Hojland has found his goal scoring form. That pushes his total in all competitions to 13. 13 goals and 2 assists in all competitions. That's 15 goal contributions in 30 games in all comps, which for a younger striker whose total tally last season for Atalanta was 11 goals in all comps. And he's already beaten that. You've still got probably another, what is it? It's like 18 games. Is it 18 games left in the league? Or actually 17 games now that we played that one. So 17 games in the league, maybe another 1 or 2 in the FA Cup. So roughly about 19 games to spare. He's already on 15 goal contributions in all comps of the season. For a guy that's not meant to be the star striker. He's not meant to be. The only reason why we look at him as the guy to lead the line is because our transfer dealings are just that woeful and that abysmal. And hopefully, with the new week just around the corner, starting tomorrow, that we can actually have conversations about the new staffing at Manchester United, making sure that those summer transfer windows are a thing of the past. That's all we can hope for at this point. The rest of that game is more of the same that we've had all season. Just a lack of discipline and a lack of real essence of control and game management. And in games like this, we can get away with it. In games where you play teams like Man City, teams like the Arsenals, like the Liverpools, or hell, even Newcastles or Tottenhams, you play teams like that, you're not going to get away with playing without the control. And I'll tell you what, in the response to going 2 goals up, it happened essentially against Newport County. You get 2-0 up and you're cruising. It looks all comfortable. Then the decision making, the discipline on the pitch starts to waver. It starts to go south. You see players, switching off from the game, not really having impact on the game, such as wingers like Garnacho and Rashford seeing the goal from about 5 miles out and deciding, you know what, free hit, baby. And just, like Freebird going off in the background, just absolutely thunder C-wording the ball into the high heavens. I mean, why do you think you're going to score goals by constant? It's a weird complexion, I have to say. It is a weird complexion that you've got guys like Rashford, guys like Garnacho, guys like even Anthony as well. They sit and Bruno actually, and Bruno does this as well. And Bruno today was not, that weren't it, Chief. That wasn't it, Chief. We need a number 10 doing better in those in positions of the pitch, and just in total, just the attack again. Like I've said it multiple times before, get the ball closer to the goal before you start trying to take chances. Because Hojland is extremely dangerous. We don't necessarily give him that many clear-cut chances, and with more scraps to feed off, Hojland has still managed to sort out his conversion, and with the lesser chances, he's actually way more of a threat. So if you get a high conversion rate type Rasmus Hojland, with a lot of chances, he's going to enjoy his games a lot. United fans as well will start to enjoy ourselves a lot more. You get more goals scored, and get when you get closer to that, get closer to the goal in terms of your build up. We know Hojland's got he's got the ability to seek out the final pass as well. So Rashford, Garnacho, Bruno probably actually finds the back of the net a whole heck of a lot more if they play those passes, the extra pass into where Hojland is, and he can give it back. Rashford is great for give and goes. Garnacho can be great for give and goes. Bruno could be great for a cutback, the give and go to the winger. Bruno's making the late darting run, cutback pass, and Bruno's there to finish it. At the end of the day, that's four players that can actually take shots in and around the box, like in proper and solid danger areas, as opposed to seeing the goal miles out and deciding you're going to shoot from there. That's not how we are going to win games of football. That just is not how you're going to win games. You're going to start losing games if that's what you're going to default to. You defaulted to it against Newport County and we faced embarrassment. You got lucky today that we did not concede a second. Oh, to be fair, I called a 2-2, albeit I wasn't expecting the game, to go the way it did in terms of how the game flow went. I wasn't expecting anything like that. But you know what? Pleasantly surprised we win. Pleasantly surprised, as my prediction was a 2-2. It very could have been 2-2 several times. But thankfully, we rode our luck. We cashed out on 2-1. And it's a win away at a tough, an away grounds that likes to likes to make threats of taking your scalp. And we survived that test. We survived that test and quite literally survived, fighting for our lives. It was literally survival football. After 10 minutes, of course. The first 10 minutes, it was Man United are in control. Absolutely in control. After that, as I've said, the discipline went. The game gets harder. See, when your team is, your strike force is throwing away so many opportunities and chances by shooting and making bad decisions, what you end up doing is everybody else behind you on the pitch, i.e. your midfield plus your defence, then has more work to do. So it is what it is. 3 points are 3 points, and we'll take that. We'll take it. All things considered, we'll take it. I've just got 2 reds in his last 2 games. Yeah, I think when the team, and I think Bayern are hitting a spell right now where it's all seemingly falling down a bit for them. It's all falling down a bit, and do you know what? Bayer Leverkusen speed run it to the Bundesliga title now. Don't slip. Don't get your Stevie G settings on. And you know what? I was kind of worried. After 10 minutes being 2-0 up, and you think, oh, nice, cool. Don't let it slip. Don't let the game go. Then it went 2-1, and I was fearing the worst. Thankfully, we then just fortunately, shut the game up pretty much. Just killed it with boredom. You might as well killed it with boredom and shithousery. That's probably the essence of what happened with the game after that. Don't fucking remind me Xhaka exists. Mate, Xhaka could be winning a league title in a Bundesliga where Bayern just win it every single year, that guy might actually be winning a league title. If Arsenal don't win the Premier League title, that's another player that's left Arsenal and gone on to bigger and better things. Which is mad considering one's gone from Arsenal to Bayer Leverkusen. And you would have assumed when you make that move is to be competitive for competition placements as opposed to actually winning solid trophies and silverware. Another 3 goals conceded, that's poor. Yeah, man. Leverkusen have been brilliant this season, unbeaten all comps. They don't look like dropping any points. But they drew within their last 5 games. I think it's 4 games ago. They drew. I think it was 0-0 in that game. But they don't look like a team that's going to lose any games, and that's a massive important sign to have as a team when it comes to the run-in for the league campaign. Is if you're a team in control, in the lead, that does not look like it's going to lose any games, that's confidence. That's confidence at a really crucial time of the season. So I should stop watching Bayern. They've lost the last 3 games I've watched. Mate, do you know what? And the funny thing is sometimes I feel that way about certain teams that I watch. It always almost feels like every time I watch a team, they lose. And it's just because I'm a bad omen. Mate, you could literally just literally just let Bayern never win, a game ever again. Like, you could just do that. Just be a bad omen for Bayern. Literally just lose every single game and get relegated. You imagine possessing that power. That'd be mental. That'd be madness. Xhaka won midfield against Bayern last week. He's doing all right, Granit Xhaka at Bayern, because he's actually quite an important piece to their team. We almost lost to Luton because of that Spanish wanker in goal. I got the score right, but I put put Luton for the 2-1. There's actually quite a lot of people that did say that. And you know what? There was one person, I think it was Anfield Uncle Rod's, said, you know what, I still back you guys to get a win. I believe you guys will win 2-1. Lo and behold, he was right. You spot on with the prediction. Got the 2-1 prediction spot on. The one with Leo Hair Chimino. The main score I got right was Arsenal. I'm sure there was a lot of people, Drew, that predicted a Burnley battering. But I'll tell you what, when you predict a battering, it's one of the most satisfying feelings as a fan. When you predict a battering for your team, right, that they're not that you lose that many goals, but that you beat your opposition by that many goals, and then you watch it unfold and it actually happen. It's just satisfying. It's just absolute satisfaction to the match. Just kick back, kick your feet up, and relax. Smoke a cigar if you want to. Drink a litre canister of chocolate milk if you have to. Maybe I should do that. Just sell chocolate milk canisters. I might be changing the game then. Chocolate milk on tap. Changing the game. It'll probably take a lot of maintenance, though, to be fair. Season 23-24, Man United has assembled the most expensive squad in football history. And and it won 1 Carabao Cup. Still more trophies than Arsenal last season. But I'll put my hands up and say most expensive squad ever assembled. Half of that squad's got to be disassembled by Ineos come the summer. So maybe here's a funny thing. Now, I've had the most expensive squad last season. Maybe we'll have the most expensive boardroom come this season. Quite possibly. Mm. Even Malone to me, he's kept 2 clean sheets. Don't knock his confidence. Probably a bit too harsh on him. Don't care. I'm not a fan of Ryan Jamil. I wanted Arsenal to send him back. I hope he fucks back off to Brentford. He's constantly making errors and costing us games. He's been good since the Dubai break, but 5 games isn't enough. Well, I'll tell you what, if he doesn't make another error, and actually you guys finish in a decent position at the end of the season, right? If he doesn't make any errors, would that change your mind? Would that give you a bit more faith? A bit more faith in the Raya process, Project Raya? Arteta will keep him, Jimmy. I think that is nailed on. Most likely. The fact McShite is still close to being your top scorer is a joke. Milky Bucket is the worst player in the league. Impact sub, to be honest, impact sub, and he was subbed on at half time today, pretty much, and didn't really have that much impact. To be honest, didn't have that much impact. PUBG before. What? What? I'm confused right now. What? My guy, you took a wrong turn. You're meant to take the second exit at the last roundabout. That takes you back to the political streams and channels. This is about football. This is a football channel. You know, this is where you take the third exit. Yeah, there's the big road signs that direct you. You've come into a football channel. We talk about South African politics. My guy, we're here to talk about football. I'm just trying to talk about Man United versus Luton. South Africa in the comments and the politics, you know. But, you know, big ups to Nelson Mandela, you know. Big ups to Nelson Mandela. Real leader, Nelson Mandela. It's a sad truth. He'll be signed permanently in Ramsdale, will be sold in 2 years' time. We'll be having the same conversation about Araya, another below average goalkeeper. Right. He's just carrying on there. Bruno's a good player. He's got one of the most spineless ones in the world too. I know Bruno's a good player. I just think he's just in his own head, to be honest. I just think he's in his own head at the moment. Do you know what? He's become as wasteful as he has with the captain's armband on him. I do feel like he has become this wasteful player as the captain of Man United. Whereas if he's not, and he answers to somebody else, or has to answer to somebody else, I think he focuses a little bit more on his own game. So I don't know if it's captaincy or a captain's armband curse. Perhaps that is, you know, is slowing Bruno down. I don't know if that is fair to say, but yeah, he's not been that great, and you know what, I think it might be an idea perhaps to ponder perhaps Christian Eriksen getting game time or being a substitution, playing further forward, or when Mason Mount is fit, that he starts in that position. Might be on the cards, you know. I just think he's just in his own head at the moment. He's trying too much, too hard to do too much, rather than keeping his game just simple. 100% Juninho Arteta had a goalkeeper handed to him on the plate, but no, Leno was Arteta's flavour of the month. True that, Martinez is still a better goalkeeper for Aston Villa at, at this moment in time than either of the goalkeepers for Arsenal at the moment, to be fair. Martinez, Ramsdale, Henry, I guess. Guess who's still here? Martinez was quality, especially during lockdown. Should have kept him. He offers way more than the other three do. Spot on Jaminho. I remember telling people to watch Martinez and they laughed at me. He easily would be a fan favourite if he was still here. He probably would, to be fair. And imagine if he was a goalkeeper that brought back the World Cup trophy. He'll be really lauded up in your team. I'd hate to think how highly Top Gooners would be start raving mad about him though. No Turner or Runnison, Jaminho. People laugh at me for saying the same thing. Martinez literally won a World Cup way more than a crap. So I've got all the two. Both betting Raya Hein 2. Ooh. 3 times I watched Rangers this season. They lost all 3 times. Surprised. As far as I don't watch any more of their games. Yeah, could be a bad omen for Rangers as well, Jaminho. Just keep watching their games. Believe it or not, Fuzz, everyone was saying 2-1 or 3-1 Arsenal. Okay. Do you know what now, Drew? Now that you guys have scored 14 goals in 3 games, every match prediction now is going to be 8-0, 9-0, 10-0. Because the delusion's going to start to set in with some of the toxic positive people in the fan base, and they're going to go, "Oh my God, who is that we're playing? Was that Real Madrid? We're playing Real Madrid. God, we'll do them 8-0. Sit down, shut up, sit down, shut up, sit down." Most expensive squad assembled. Currently, your squad is worth half of what you paid for them. To be fair, it's worth even less than that, to be honest with you. It's worth even less than that. And that includes a Marcus Rashford, which is free. Literally. A free Marcus Rashford was in that team. A loany Wout Weghorst was in that team. A free transfer of Ericsson was in that team. Who else was free or cheap? Pretty sure was Brandon Williams? I think he went on loan. Can't remember. But for the most part, even though in your team that you can have a lot of free players or players that you got on cheap, the fact that you still managed to assemble the most expensive squad. Hats off to those who have been doing the transfer business that has ultimately screwed the club over financially across the past 10 years. And bad businesses that we've done where we've paid massive money for a player that's now no longer here, and that player is not gone on to bigger and better things. So, yeah, it all comes full circle. Nothing will give me faith about Raya, who's already cost us multiple games and we should have lost against the Luton City because of him, and no other players saved his ass. Never have seen proper goalkeepers at this. Raya couldn't shine at their boots. I mean, with Raya, I to be honest, I didn't really rate Raya that much because he was in contention for a goalkeeper to replace David De Gea, and I see a lot of United fans are like, "Oh my God, he can play out from the back." I said, "Don't converse with me about this. Don't converse with me about this." I mean, we got Andre Onana, a goalkeeper that was, was nominated into the Ballon d'Or nominations for his season with Inter Milan last season. and yeah, hasn't turned out that great at all. And I rated him much significantly less than Raya. Well, no, significant like Raya, I rated significantly less than Andre Onana. So that speaks to volumes. It speaks levels. And Raya was making howlers for Brentford. You know, for example, getting caught off his line, going into no man's land, and getting the ball cheaply chipped over him several times. So yeah, Raya can be a bit of a liability from time to time. Ericsson shouldn't be getting games either. He's worse than Bruno, even more spineless than him too. At least with Ericsson, he's a bit more of a. I mean, Ericsson's more of a creative element and perhaps a bit more of a system player, perhaps you could say. But we can get that much better out in the market, so we should look to do that. We should look to invest. Man United could have bought 25 million pints at Borussia Dortmund for cheaper than the price of Antony. Speaking of Borussia Dortmund, I mean, I hear Jadon Sancho's loan spell is not, he's not exactly balling out in Dortmund, which is, it's a crying shame that. It's a crying shame. He was meant to go back and start scoring and assisting for fun. I thought he was going to turn the Bundesliga into a joke again. Hasn't happened, has it? What a shame. What a crying shame. There's a free Scott McShine in that team too. Milky Buckets was. Oh, speaking of which, I saw this on Twitter. That's on Twitter the other day. I couldn't believe it. I saw a picture and I've got to get this validated really quick. So yeah, so here's one for you, Arsenal lot. Here's one for you, interesting one. In trials, there were 3 players, right? 3 names. I shall name 2 of them. Trials in which these 2 players passed, and there is a player that currently plays for Arsenal that failed those trials. So Scott McTominay and Brandon Williams, 2 of the Man United guys in that class that graduated from those trials. Can you guess who the current Arsenal player was that failed those trials? Can you guess which player it was? So here you go, Jimmy. It's Scott McShite and the wannabe UFC fighter, past trials for Man United. Was it Martinelli? It was. Gabriel Martinelli had 4 trials for Man United. I did not even know that. He had 4 trials, and we ended up with Scott McTominay and Brandon Williams is playing on loan at the age of 21/22 for Ipswich in the Championship. And Scott McTominay is being lauded up as the second coming of Christ. And Gabriel Martinelli currently, is actually doing bits in the Premier League for Arsenal. I mean, like, crazy how things turn out in football, isn't it? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap this up because it's not too far away before the Sunday Takeaway show starts, and I'll be jumping onto that show as well. So I'll be wrapping things up nice and quick. Rise the reason Brentford lost the playoff final to Fulham a few years ago. He's the same person who conceded a 45-yard P-roller along the ground during his championship days. Right. Viability is arguably the worst Spanish keeper in the Premier League ever seen, including De Gea, Adrian Kepa, and Roberto. I think he had trials at Barcelona too and failed them. I'll tell you what, I think he's one of those players that is just rough around the edges, and Arsenal were probably the only club that really took the chance on him, despite him being rough around the edges. But then, sometimes you find the diamonds in the rough. And look what kind of a player Martinelli's transformed into now. So, you know what, that's fair plays. The Milky Bar Kid wouldn't pass the trough for hashtag United. He probably would. I mean, it's a club that's run by Spencer Owen. Spencer FC. It's run by a YouTuber. I'm sure Scott McTominay would get into that team. But anyways, guys, big ups for everybody tuning in. It says, been a blast with the match reactions. Speaking about another win, 4 wins on the bounce in the Prem. All good stuff. 12 in 12. In literally the most inconsistent season of Manchester United's history. We'll take it. It feels like the most inconsistent season in Man United's history. We'll take it. We'll take all the wins we can get. And big ups to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you all coming along. Make sure that if you're watching on playback, you're smashing them likes and subscribing on the road to 160. Sorry. Currently on 156. So if we can get up to 160, we're 4 away. That'd be fantastic. Also, another big milestone hit in the community was Early Doors Football TV. Hats off to him. Congratulations on the 200 subscribers. A fantastic achievement there, and onwards and upwards to 300 for himself. So we're winning. Plenty of people. I know his team's not winning, but at least he's winning. So everything that you can get. So big ups to Early Doors, but also big ups to everybody in the chat. Big ups to Drew Gunners, Jaminho, Carl Rossi, Mama Flossie, DJ Crane. South African politician bloke, Pub GUC. I know he didn't offer anything for football conversation, but he clicked on the stream, so he was here. Hope he doesn't go there, but it wouldn't shock me. 100%. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll see you later on tonight. I'm sure I'll be on the takeaway stream, so tune in. Early Doors Football TV. I'll probably stream it live from my channel as well, and I believe 8 o'clock tonight is when it will be kickstarting, so do be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that and tune in a bit. So we'll speak to you soon, and take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Ciao.